week got off to a wonderful start as I had my going away event at Pegasus City Brewery. It was a low key event where I just invited everyone to stop by anytime between 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Stay as long as you want or as short as you want. It worked out very well. My biggest problem was I could not be at every table at once. Several months ago, as this event was being planned, I did not have a definite date to retire. So Adrian reached out to Fish and Fizz, my favorite food truck, to find out when they would be available. And that was the date we picked for this event. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. It was so good to see everyone, to share stories, and to have hugs before I got on the road. I especially want to thank Will and Adrian, not only for the hospitality of Pegasus City Brewery, but also y'all's friendship. Then on Tuesday, it was time to wrap it up at UT Southwestern. 1 month shy of 26 years, I returned to campus long enough to turn in my bags and call it quits. Wednesday was a very busy day as I got all the errands and chores done to get ready to leave town for a month. Everything took longer than it should have, of course, and so it was rather late when I sat down to eat dinner. As I reviewed the course of the day, I felt like I'd gotten everything done, but then, out of nowhere, I got hit by a "what the hell am I doing" moment. All of a sudden in my mind, I'm homeless and unemployed, which technically true is actually a bit dramatic for the actual situation. Unfortunately, that sense of anxiety existed all through the night, and I kept waking up stressing. So, up bright and early to get on the road because I had a full day's of drive ahead of me, I was exhausted and was not thinking at my best. This created several learning opportunities on how not to prepare the trailer for a tow. Despite thinking to myself multiple times during the night, don't forget the chocks, don't forget the chocks. What did I do but pull the trailer up over the chocks? About 30 minutes after I got on the road, I realized that I had not secured the computer. So I pull over, and sure enough, my Dell All-in-One had gone flying off of the tabletop to land in the middle of the floor. I secured it, thinking it was too late because obviously it had already gone flying, but I secured it anyway. And Dell, I have to give y'all credit, it worked perfectly when I plugged it back up and ran it again. So I got here, found my campsite, got set up, and went to bed fairly early because I was exhausted. The next morning, as I was drinking my coffee, I realized how silly I had been. For one, I know exactly where I'm going to be staying every night except for 5 for the next 3 months, the next 3 months. And it's all paid for except for 3 nights. So I've never been 3 months ahead on rent before. And I easily have a month's worth of food between the car and the trailer. So I'm as secure as I can possibly be. So there was absolutely no reason for that stress. But that's what your mind will do to you. Despite the challenges of getting on the road, the trip itself was uneventful. Of course, it took a little bit longer than expected, but again, towing, that's to be expected. I did get to Garner State Park in enough time to get set up before the evening thunderstorms rolled in. In 2021, I drove from Mexico to Canada along US Route 83. US 83 passes through the Frio River Valley, which is south of I-10 in the hill country. As I drove through the valley, I noticed Garner State Park, and that became my choice for my first destination as I left Dallas. I'm halfway through my 7-day stay. I've kind of been staying away from the river areas because it's been so crowded, but I've explored the hills, I've explored the areas around here. There's some quirky little shops, very quaint resort area. So I've really enjoyed being able to set up base camp and then explore. This has certainly validated my decision to get a trailer. Tomorrow, since the state park is almost deserted now, I was amazed how quickly everybody left today. Most people were gone by noon. I'll explore the park more. Springtime means showers and thunderstorms, but it also means all the vegetation is green and there are so many flowers blooming. These are just a small sample of everything that's blooming around Garner State Park. This little fella was quite interested in the flour tortillas I had out as I was getting ready to make dinner. Several days ago, as I was driving through another camping area, I saw a picnic table that the campers had left a lot of their food out on top of the table. And on top of the table, going through it, was a big old vulture. So I'm pretty happy I only got this fella. This is the first state park I've ever visited that has an ice cream store on site. Unfortunately, it's become an afternoon ritual to stop by. I'll be at Garner State Park a few more days, complete with showers every day, but I've lived in Texas long enough to know you never fuss about the rain. It is always needed. But after that, off to new destinations. Follow along as we see where the road takes us.